Good Friday morning, everybody. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice Program. No, we're not hearing me, Luke. Did you punch us over? Did you switch us over? Yeah. Well, we'll try it again. Good morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice Program. Our show brought to you by Tanner Health System here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. And this morning we are also live on Facebook, the News Talk 1330 Facebook page. So if you get bored listening to us on the radio, you can tune us in on Facebook to watch the entire 30-minute interview with Hollie Presnal. She's with Goodwill, and she's going to talk about President Trump this morning and his scandal that's going on with Stormy Daniels. So we appreciate you coming in to do that, Hollie. I guess you mind getting closer to that microphone?
Sure.
All right. No, actually, Hollie doesn't even want to come close to that. We're going to talk about a couple of events that are coming up with Goodwill because she is the center manager.
Yes, that's
and she
correct.
knows all that's going on at Goodwill, and we're going to talk about that this morning. I just got the cheat sheet, so I'm really running behind. So I'm actually going to learn for the first time what is going on. I'm assuming there's a job fair coming up.
We have several coming up, actually, and thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely, a pleasure.
We actually are going to be celebrating Goodwill Week, which kicks off on the 6th.
Why is it only a week, Hollie? Why don't you guys get a whole month?
Well, actually, what we do at Goodwill is something that's ongoing. Our services, especially on the mission side, is completely free, and basically what we strive to do is help individuals connect to employment resources, and developing people, changing lives, and building better communities is our overall goal, and all that's made possible through the donations that we receive through the community.
Did you listen to our newscast this morning?
No.
Did you know?
I'll be honest.
First time this week you missed it, I know.
I know.
Mark Butler, he's the labor commissioner, he said that there are in the whole history of the world, more people are employed in Carroll County now than they've ever been.
Yes, the unemployment rate is at the lowest that it has been in decades.
Well, I think it's like 4.2 right now, but there's more people. Obviously, the county gets bigger and bigger, so more opportunities to employ people.
Exactly. But what we need to keep in mind is that there are still people that are seeking employment, and there's also people that are seeking better opportunities to further themselves on their career path.
I was going to try and give you credit for that, for all the jobs.
Oh,
people
yeah,
with jobs.
yeah. It's just, we're making it happen over.
All right, I'm going to leave you alone now and let you just go on with the show.
But Goodwill Week, one of the reasons that I'm here is, one, to remind you as a community what you have done to make what we do possible. And as you know, you and I have talked several times, and people in our community, some people may know and some people don't, but basically the donations that we receive and from the people that purchase the items within the store, that enables us to put people to work, and that makes it possible for us to provide the resources in the Career Center to help those to be better suited for employment. And so we have a couple things that are taking place. During Goodwill Week, some of the things that you may see or hear about, basically it's just an opportunity for us to kind of highlight what we do every day, because that's what we are. We strive to make a better place, a better opportunity for those that are job seekers, and hopefully give back what we're so honored to receive. And we're going to have several job fairs, as you mentioned.
Looks like 3, right, coming up that week?
Well, not within that 1 week, but we do have several things taking place that month. But we do have 2 taking place within the week of Goodwill Week, and we also have an open house that's going to take place on the 8th. And we are going to actually be hosting a ribbon cutting with the Chamber for our VIP program, which is a new program that we launched actually at the end of January, and it's more of an individualized focus kind of workshop series that we've put together to help those to really get the skills necessary to help them not only obtain employment but maintain employment. Because what we have seen is that sometimes it's easy for them to secure a job, but sometimes they struggle with just maintaining that employment. Maybe it's because they lack conflict resolution skills, maybe they lack the communication skills necessary, or on the front end when you're seeking employment, maybe you need to work on interview skills, you need to work on your computer skills. So we have a 10-class workshop that we provide, and by doing that, they can go through the workshop and it's more individualized, and we're able to say with confidence after working with that person, because they've shown up and they've been there to take part in the classes, that they're ready, reliable, and motivated to go to work.
RRM.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to put something together, but really, alliteration there,
well,
ready,
thank
reliable,
you,
and motivated. Actually, you say there was two in that 1 week, but if you look, I mean, it's about a week and 1 day for the third one.
Well, we have Pinnacle Staffing's going to be there on the 7th, which is Monday, and then on the 9th we have a multiple employer recruitment event that's going to take place from 2 to 4. So we will have Ronstadt present. They're doing recruitment for OFS, which they're going to be adding several positions for OFS. And then Saddle Creek out of Villa Rica is looking for several different positions, as well as Fastenal. They're looking for part-time employers, and that is more towards the Lithia Springs, Austell area. But if you want more information, then I would just encourage them to stop by the Goodwill Career Center. We're located in the back of the store, and we have flyers and information that are posted online as well.
And you can get everybody ready. You're the one-stop shop for preparation.
That
for
is
these
our
job
hope.
interviews.
Some of the classes and workshops, it's not going to be a one-shot deal. If you come in and you need computer skills, then definitely it's an ongoing process.
You sell the clothes.
Exactly.
For the job interviews. These, I'm going to say maybe 10. You've had 10 of these job fairs in the last year, maybe 2 years. I mean, it seems like we talk about it all the time. Is it just 10? Okay.
No, we typically have at least 2 a month.
Okay. Now, how successful are those? When those people come here, do they find their employees at each of these job fairs? Do they feel the need at that point?
Well, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it varies. What we try to do is, and one of the great things about the VIP program, it allows us more of an opportunity to have that one-on-one conversation with our clients to find out what their strengths are, what they are actually bringing to the table, how they can build upon that, and then connecting them to the employment opportunities that we have out there. But depending on the type of employer that we have a variety of different clients that come through the door. And again, we just work to connect the employers to the possible employee opportunities that are out there. And so what we do is give them the opportunity to have that face-to-face interaction with the employer, and they can have an on-spot interview and then decide if they want to move forward. But yes, we've been able to, over just last year, with Goodwill across our region, we served over 27,000 individuals with our services. And I want to say out of that, we were able to connect close to 2,000 to employment opportunities.
So you want to do that every year, 2,000 every year?
We would like to surpass that every year.
Sure. But
the goal is to not only get them connected, but help them to sustain employment as well.
And again, that's part of that VIP program, which we will talk more about in just a little bit. We'll detail the actual businesses that will be hiring at these fairs, and we'll talk about more things that you do have coming up. We'll take our first break, though.
Okay, sounds good.
I meant to do this early on in this show, but we want to give away some tickets. There's a big event going on this weekend. Carroll County Bar Association hosting the 2nd Annual Kentucky Derby Fundraising Gala, and it is Saturday. It's tomorrow, so you have to get these tickets today if you want to go to this. We've had them on the show where we talked about it. It's about 4 hours of fun. You're watching the horses race. There's food and beverages of your choice, and just a good time to mingle and hang out and watch the horses. So it's a lot of good fun. We have 4 tickets. I'd like to give away 2 pairs this morning. If you call in right now and just talk to Luke, Luke will answer the phone. You say, hey, I want to go to the gala, and then come pick these up by 1 o'clock today, and we'll make sure you get them. We're located 808 Noonan Road here in Carrollton, just below the Ag Center. So call Luke, give him your name and your information, and come pick those up today. We'll take our first break, come back to talk more with Hollie Presnal, Goodwill Career Center. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, and this morning on Facebook Live.
At Tanner, we're advancing health throughout West Georgia and East Alabama, because we know that exceptional care isn't based on how many patients we serve, but how well we serve them. That's why we're focused on quality, delivering the best possible care for our patients. It's why we're expanding our clinical services and building new facilities to serve our growing community. And it's why we're looking beyond our hospitals and medical practices to develop sustainable wellness and preventive health programs in our region. What makes a hospital great has changed. It's not how many beds we have. It's how well we care for the neighbors who need them. Delivering the right care to every patient, every time, is how Tanner is advancing health with medicine beyond measure. Learn more at tanner.org or find a physician on our medical staff by calling 770-214-CARE.
All right, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice Program. Our show brought to you by Tanner Health System just about 20 minutes before 9 o'clock on this Friday. I'm your host this morning, Colin Worthington. Hollie Presnal with Goodwill here in Carrollton as our guest. Several job fairs coming up and events to prepare you for those job fairs, and also some programs to help you keep your job, to maintain your job. Exactly. Keep a sunny disposition. Hey, do you find that for years and years we were hearing about how important it is to have your college degree and or technical college degree, even high school diploma for a lot of these jobs that you guys have these fairs for. That's the requirement: high school diploma or the GED.
Exactly. Many of our employers, that's the baseline. We asked employers. We have a job board within the Career Center as well. Besides just hosting the recruitment events and the classes and workshops, we do have a job board where we post hot jobs for job seekers to come in and see what is available within our community. And one of the things that we ask from the employers when they post the jobs with us is, what are the minimum requirements for those jobs? And 9 times out of 10, they have to have the GED or high school diploma to be considered. One of the awesome things that we do also to help them to overcome that hurdle is we have a partnership with West Georgia Technical College where, of course, they have awesome classes and workshops that are free for GED seekers, but we have a GED Connect program where we're there kind of as an additive incentive or an advocate for those pursuing those GED classes to help them stay on track so that they can hopefully open up more opportunity for themselves. And so with the GED Connect, what we do is add additional resources and support when somebody's going through those classes, because we know sometimes that can be a challenge. When someone's trying to seek employment and they keep on hitting roadblocks, it can be, very devastating, and they can feel discouraged. But we're there to help make sure that, if there's something that's preventing them from achieving those goals to reaching ultimate success, like if they have a goal of getting the GED, or maybe the goal is, getting the resume done, we want to meet with that person, find out what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and connect them to the resources that may help them to do so. So, for instance, it may be that we're working with somebody that's going to the GED classes at West Georgia Technical College, and they're having an issue with childcare, and the instructor said, well, I haven't seen them in some time. They're coming consistently, and now they're kind of off the radar, and it may be because they've had transportation issues or because they had child care issues. We don't provide that out of the Goodwill, but what we do is help them to link to the resources that they may not have been aware that were out there. And so basically just kind of navigate them to make sure that they're staying on track with where they want to be.
Do you help them study for the GED? Because I imagine, a 30-year-old person who hasn't taken a test in 15 years, it might be a little intimidating, and that might discourage them from taking the GED.
Some of the components I wouldn't want to venture to take right now.
You think you haven't tested in 15 years?
But we do not help study. They have awesome instructors at the technical college that provides the guidance and instruction, but we do have supplemental resources that we offer when someone has elected to be part of the GED Connect program. They do have a Kaplan book that they use sometimes to help them and guide them through. Basically, it's like practice test, if you will, or practice examples of what they're trying to work through so that they are better prepared to take that into the the test course.
If you're 30 years old and don't have your high school degree, can you go back to high school?
Oh, yeah.
You really can?
Yeah.
There's no rules against
and
that?
And the awesome thing is that if you wanted to go beyond that, there's other programs that are available out there as well. They have the WIOA program, which is the Workforce Initiative Act, that may help individuals to not only pursue once they've got their GED, but pursue a certification or some type of degree in a high-demand field. And you mentioned this earlier, Colin, but, you know, the big push used to be getting the college degree. And a 4-year degree is awesome, but one of the things that we're seeing over and over is skilled labor. And that is a huge demand right now with a lot of the manufacturing. I think people have underestimated the value of having certain skills or trades and how that can benefit not only the individual, but the overall economic growth and development that's taken place in our economy.
Hollie Presnal with Goodwill Career Center. She's our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. It is 8:45. Questions or comments, feel free to give us a call, 678-601-8255, 678-601-TALK. And we are talking about a number of programs that you guys are offering. And, of course, Goodwill Week is coming up next week, right? I think It starts on Monday. Among the workshops that you guys provide is a Computer 101 workshop. Are there still people out there that have problems understanding computers and the basics with Microsoft
and
Word
our
or Excel?
101 class is very basic, but there are individuals, you know, especially if somebody's been in the job market and then all of a sudden they're having to change course. Maybe the company relocated or they've lost their job for whatever reason. And now they're realizing that it used to be you could walk into a place of business and ask for a paper application, meet the employer, and fill it out on the spot. Well, 90% of the time it's going to be online now. And if somebody might know how to go in and check their email because they can peck at the keyboard, but going into an application process, that sometimes can be overwhelming to some of the individuals that maybe we come across. And sometimes they just want those basic skills so that they feel more confident and able to go into a certain setting. But yes, there are definitely some people that struggle with, because they let it intimidate them and think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I don't even know how to go into the internet and access what I need to for this application process. And so that can be a stumbling block for individuals.
And even if they do understand that, you don't take for granted that that's all you have to do. You still need to provide a resume as well.
Exactly,
you have to do that application.
And that's something else that we offer and provide. We can help them with resume development. We do encourage individuals to make an appointment. We don't want somebody coming in 30 minutes before their interview and say, can you help me put together a resume? Well, if you want a quality resume, then you need to really think about what your work history looks like, be mentally prepared to be able to speak to what you've put on the paper, because basically that's your ticket in the door and a way to sell yourself, not only in person, but also if you're submitting something online, that can make or break whether or not you move to the next level of consideration for employment.
The proper way to do a resume changes all the time, too.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Most definitely. And the other thing that they need to consider, too, is, sometimes people underestimate what they actually bring to the table. And by having a conversation with someone like the Career Center or somebody else that can assist them with putting together a resume is really talking through what skills and assets they bring, and considering what they need to put on that resume, because one of the things that we see is people go too far back with their resume, but there is a way that they can capture that work history. What they need to consider also is just making sure that they're highlighting the skills that complement the job that they're going after. You don't want it to tailor but word for word, but you definitely want to help the employer be able to see in a clear, concise way, why am I the best suited candidate? And if your skill set doesn't match what they are requesting from the job they have listed, then their first instinct is going to be, well, what does this have to do with what I'm needing? Well,
for example, if Luke Lukert, our reporter, if he went for a job at like a cleaning place, and he were to put that he worked at Gradient Communications, he probably shouldn't put anything about radio. He should, put note that he kept the studio clean and tidy and water the plants and things, right?
Discuss how he, he has excellent communication skills so that he can, and he follows instructions well.
Oh,
so there's certain things that you would want to highlight that cross over all different areas of work. But, again, you're exactly right. Highlighting, putting those key things at the top of the resume. And then the other thing that I would just encourage somebody to do is to really think about being interview ready. A lot of times people think they know what that means, and that's another area that we can assist you or an individual job seeker with, is making sure that they have the appropriate interview attire when they go in to meet with an employer.
And you guys provide some of that, or you make it available to them. There are some clothes and things.
Yeah, we're right there in the Goodwill, so there's perfect opportunity for them to go out there and see what they have, and we can even guide them through that process.
Well, we'll take our final break, and we'll come back and talk about all of the programs that are being offered this month, and then we'll recap the job fair coming up, and also remind people that they can donate to Goodwill and how that helps out the community and helps out your programs as well. About 9 minutes before 9 o'clock now on this Friday, Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System. We are on News Talk 1330, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, and also on the News Talk 1330 Facebook page this morning. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back after this.
At Tanner, we're advancing health throughout West Georgia and East Alabama because we know that exceptional care isn't based on how many patients we serve, but how well we serve them. That's why we're focused on quality, delivering the best possible care for our patients. It's why we're expanding our clinical services and building new facilities to serve our growing community. And it's why we're looking beyond our hospitals and medical practices to develop sustainable wellness and preventive health programs in our region. What makes a hospital great has changed. It's not how many beds we have. It's how well we care for the neighbors who need them. Delivering the right care to every patient, every time, is how Tanner is advancing health with medicine beyond measure. Learn more at tanner.org. or find a physician on our medical staff by calling 770-214-CARE.
Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice Program. Our show brought to you by our friends at Tanner Health System. 8 minutes before 9 o'clock, I'm your host, Colin Worthington, sitting across the table from me this morning, Hollie Presnal with Goodwill. You can see us on Facebook Live. Good morning to Derek and Herman, who shouted out to us this morning on Facebook Live. Derek always watches, and you're apparently one of his favorites. He never put Colin, but he put Hollie on Facebook Live. Hey, we do have about 7.5 minutes. Let's go over your calendar coming up for this week, and again, remind people how they can help with Goodwill. Do you need that calendar to read over?
No,
you memorized it all?
I know.
All right, hook us up, Hollie.
But basically, on the 7th, we'll kick off the...
Well, this morning you got a resume critique, right? At 10:30?
Well, they had to make an appointment prior to, but yes, I think we actually do have a participant coming in and taking part, and we are actually assisting with a resource fair that's taking place at the Head Start program this morning. So as soon as I get done here, I'm jetting over there to share resources about the services that we provide with some of the parents in the area. Yes, we have several things taking place, and very lucky to have the community support that we do. And, even with the market as low as it is, we're hoping that we're making an impact with the individuals, not only to help them secure employment, but as I said, just help them to sustain employment, because the goal is to help them to further themselves. But we do have Pinnacle Staffing, so if you know of anybody that is job seeking, keep in mind the things that we have coming up. Pinnacle Staffing is going to be here on the 7th, and that's going to actually take place, what do I have there?
2 till 5.
2 to 5. And then on the 8th is our open house, and we're inviting community members to come out. We're going to have a ribbon cutting, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, and just an opportunity for us to kind of share information about what it is that we offer.
Sandwiches?
We are going to have light refreshments.
Okay.
Not sandwiches. It's going to be
cookies and
9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, good call. Well,
but if you want a sandwich,
that's lunch
you can
for me.
Bring one.
I'll bring one.
Pack a sandwich. But we will take a short tour, too, so they can see basically how the process works. Donations through the door, the processing, because people have this misconception that it's so laid back at the Goodwill. We have excellent workers that are working on the retail side, and again, what they do make what we do possible, and they're back there hustling, making it happen, busting their rump basically to get those items processed and get out on the floor. And it's a great opportunity for individuals to come in and shop, see what we have to offer, and then on the 9th, we have a multiple employer recruitment event taking place, as I mentioned, and that's going to be from 2 to 4. And they have a variety of different positions they're seeking to fill. We actually just recently added another recruitment event that's going to take place, I believe, the following week. And that is going to be another opportunity for Ronstadt to do recruitment for OFS, and we're going to have Wagner staffing coming sometime this month as well. So we have a lot of things taking place. We would love for you to come by if you need more information. You can also look us up online at www.goodwillsr.org. You can access our community our calendar of events there, as well as other career centers in the area. So maybe you have a friend or a family member that's in a different area. We have 9 career centers across our region, span all the way from the Auburn, Alabama area to Noonan, and we have a variety of different workshops, classes. For instance, in Noonan, we have an education and training center within the career center itself, and so if somebody needs additional training on being job ready, that's one of the resources that we offer, and it's really not that far away. So anytime you need additional information, and maybe you filed your taxes and you're thinking about what you could do next year, we did offer tax preparation services as well this past year and served several individuals. We didn't offer it out of Carrollton, but several of our locations had tax prep services available for those that qualified. I think the minimum income was under $54,000 for a household, and you could have your taxes prepared for free.
Wowzer.
So.
You see you have a mock interview coming up later on this month. I mean, that should be helpful as well. I mean, people looking for jobs.
We asked them to sign up prior, but basically it's
they still have time. I think it's 22nd.
People get anxious and they may feel a certain kind of way about getting ready for an interview, and we definitely don't want someone to sound rehearsed, but the more you feel confident in what you're speaking to, being able to speak to that resume, for instance, or speak about your skills and your talents and not feel caught off guard, then you can feel confident when you go into an actual interview, and we can work with an individual to practice those skills by doing the mock interview.
Now, there's a nice calendar of events coming up. Is this available on your website, you think?
Yes, they can access it through the goodwillsr.org.
There's a father accountability class, work ethics, conflict resolutions.
Yeah, we partner with several different community agencies or resources, and they sometimes utilize our space for their events. So Fatherhood holds their accountability and orientation classes there too. And one of the goals behind that is because we know sometimes the stumbling block for them is not having employment in meeting their goals. And so there you go. They're in the resource center and they have access to employment opportunities.
I have about a minute left, so I do want to remind people that, they can help. Our listeners can help by donating items. And what kind of items do you take that you can resell? And
gently used items. Anything that you want to bring in, we will be glad to help you unload. We have a convenient drop-off site next to the store, and you can have a tax donation receipt. So it's a win-win. Basically, by donating your items, you're helping us to generate resources necessary to help us to provide additional assistance to those that are job seeking or helping them to be better suited to further themselves in their career pathway. And then if you shop in the store, by purchasing items, you're helping to generate that as well. So please, by all means, donate, shop, and help us to put people to work.
They do not have sleds, though, unfortunately. Hollie Presnal, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. She's with the Goodwill Career Center here in Carrollton on Park Street, and she's been our guest this morning. Thank you for listening and watching us on Facebook Live this morning. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System. News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Have a great weekend, everybody.